it is interesting to look at how young you were, belting out those numbers. I mean, was that like a full-time job almost, even then?
Because you were restricted as a child. You could only do 40 performances. So, you know, I just did them on the telly. It was... And, you know, TV was easier because you only did the one day that you were in the studio, so the rest of it didn't count. So it's shows that would take up the time. But then I went to America when I was a kid. I did a show in London called Gypsy with Angela Lansbury, and they took me to America with the show. And that one I did do for the entire year, and couldn't understand why I couldn't do that in England. But the law was different.
Yeah.
But they changed it, because Harry Potter came here, so they changed it.
But you've done so much. I mean, just the list that I was reeling off there is endless. And then 42nd Street, which I brought my mum to see you in, which we absolutely loved. And now this is coming to cinema.
Yes.
So explain how that...
Well, what they did, so 42nd Street was on at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane last year and the year before, a couple of years it ran. And just before it finished, it had to close because the theatre was refurbishing. And just before it finished, they filmed it, the live show. They actually filmed about 3 performances, and then we did some extra days. I was so proud to be part of it. I literally finished EastEnders on the Friday and started this on the Monday. It couldn't have been more different if it tried. And I was so proud to be part of it, and it is now filmed, and you can go to your cinemas and see it.
Bonnie, yes. I think you have the most amazing work ethic. I don't know if people know. I did Chicago with Bonnie in 2006 after I came out of X Factor, and she was my Roxy and I was playing Mama Morton, and I was so nervous going into that show.
Fabulous.
Every single night, her performance was exactly the same. It was like, it's a different audience, but the performance was just unbelievable. And thank you for taking me under your wing on there.
Oh, Jackie, you were fantastic.
You were wonderful.
And you're still doing it brilliantly. And, you know, you're going off to Sister Act and all that. It's going to be wonderful.
I am, but...
I love Brenda.
You mentioned there, yeah, and she was literally saying this morning, oh, Bonnie was so kind to me and looked after me.
Well, she was fabulous, and it was such a great show, and, you know, it is a great show, and just, you know, you were just brilliant in it, perfect, made for the part.
You mentioned there that you went straight from EastEnders to 42nd Street, and that was such a hard, you know, harrowing storyline. Do you look back at that now and you're really pleased that they did that storyline, because it was quite a difficult one for people, wasn't it?
I felt very privileged, yes. I mean, it was a knife crime storyline, and I think what they did was just wonderful, because it was very poignant, it was very sensitive, it had great integrity. Yeah, we see people every day, unfortunately, and it's now become the new normal, where you see people who have gone through some kind of tragedy or effect of some crime or whatever. You see them outside a press conference or outside a court or something, and they're saying, I'm going to do something about this, I'm going to make a difference. And then you don't see what happens when the door closes and there aren't cameras there, and they have to live with it. You know, we carry on with our lives. And the thing is, it's such a terrible, terrible situation. You can't fix it in a television show, that's for sure, but at least you can open up a conversation.
Well, I thought it was amazing that the script writers worked in real families who had, you know, their children had been victims of knife crime, they'd lost children.
The number of teenagers that have been killed in London since the beginning of the year is shocking.
Absolutely
and it's
shocking.
Nearly every single day someone is either stabbed, and it's not just in London, it's in all our major cities. And I just wonder, you know, what soaps and what TV drama can do.
All they can do is just show what happens. And this is why it's important, because it's not preaching. It's just putting it out there and saying, look, this is what can happen. And what's great about the soaps as well is that it shows all the different characters, the whole community, how it affects kids who maybe knew that person and then they still have to go to school. What do they do? How do they feel? They, you know, a lot of kids are now carrying knives because they think it gives them self-defence. You know, how do you deal with that? You don't deal with it by saying, oh, don't do that. You have to talk about it. And what's great about the soaps is that they're watched by families and many generations, so it gives them an opportunity to see the other side of that
start
story.
talking.
Well, it was really powerful. It was really powerful. But if you want to see Bonnie doing something light and fun and fabulous, 42nd Street is in cinemas from the 10th.
And I'm in 9 to 5 still at the moment,
and
too.
in 95. Dolly Langford, everybody.